practice, and don't worry none about these three. I won't let them out of my sight.
You don't know what you're getting into, do you? Appaloosa's Most Wanted. Oh dear. So, we got our second CMC episode where our favorite fillies go to Appaloosa and try to catch an outlaw in hopes that it'll get them their cutie marks. Oh dear. This is the part where I usually get into what's good and what's not so good, but the thing about this episode was that there wasn't really anything that stood out to me on either side of the spectrum. The setup of the story really had me worried about where this episode was gonna go. Episodes where the CMC just go on a random crusade for their marks end up falling really flat for me, with Ponyville Confidential being the only exception. Still, I had a tiny sliver of hope that this would turn out to be a good episode, despite the fact that the last Western Pony story left a really bad taste in my mouth. Since it takes place in Appaloosa, there was a chance that we could get some more screen time from Brayburn. And it would have been interesting to see the CMC going up against a criminal, because there's something about seeing kids outsmart adults that's just entertaining. Unfortunately, we don't see much of Brayburn, and Troubleshoes, the aforementioned outlaw, turned out to be a stallion with just bad luck, which was an interesting twist, but there just isn't much else. I will say that his design was very interesting. His demeanor kinda reminded me of Eeyore, and it would have been cooler if he was voiced by Peter Cullen. I mean, he played a prominent character in another Hasbro-owned show. Keep in mind, this episode wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't good either. It was just there. There was nothing in it that made it stand out for better or for worse, and because of that, there really isn't much for me to talk about. By the end of it all, I was really bored. Not Castlemania or Mystery on the Friendship Express bored, but still pretty bored. I'm sure some of you guys feel differently, and that's perfectly fine, but for me, nah. What happened, girls? You did so well last season, and Bloom and Gloom was so good. You were the chosen ones. Well, next week we are getting the long-awaited Smooze episode, so there's definitely going to be something interesting there. Oh, and on one final note, how can anyone in Appaloosa take Sheriff Silverstar seriously with that fake-ass mustache? So, what did you think of Appaloosa's Most Wanted? Let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Tumblr. And consider supporting me on PayPal through art commissions or donations. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.